Chapter 18, practice problem number 4. This problem here pertains to the classification of each cost as either product cost or period cost, and also computing what the average manufacturing cost per drum set is. Now, before we get into identifying whether each costs are related to product costs or period costs, we have to first understand what product costs are and period costs are. So product costs are costs that are associated with producing an item. So in this case, uh, producing a drum set. So these are inventoriable items, which means that these items or any items that are considered product costs are going to be classified as assets. It's going to be a part of inventory specifically. So that's an asset. Period costs are costs that just we can just say that it's just automatically is going to be expensed. In other words, period costs are costs that is not able to be aligned or associated directly and also indirectly with the actual product. So because of that, period costs are going to just be expensed. So that's the main difference here. Product costs are classified as assets, specifically in the inventory account. Period costs are just expenses. That's it. That's the main difference. So for number one, it says plastic for casing, $17,000. It looks like they already did number one for us. So plastic for casing for $17,000. That is a product cost. Number two, wages of assembly workers, $82,000. That is also a product cost. So let me go ahead and put in 82,000 here. Okay, so the reason why it is a product cost is because direct labor, so wages of assembly workers are classified as direct labor, and direct labor is associated with the product cost. So, or associated with the product, which is a product cost. So, the assembly workers are directly involved with producing the drum set. So they are hands-on in the production process. Number three, property taxes on factory. That is also a product cost. Okay, product costs consist of direct materials, direct labor, and also factory overhead. So all of the costs that are associated with the product or producing a product indirectly. So property taxes on the factory is an indirect cost, which is classified as a factory overhead cost here. So it is factory overhead, which is a product cost because you need to have a factory or be able to work in a factory in order to produce the product. Number four, office accounting salaries. So this is accountants. So uh, salaries, we can say that, I'm involved in this office accounting salaries. Anyways, office accounting salaries is a period cost. So I'm going to put 35,000 over in the period section. Reason why is because it says office. That is key word right there. So us accountants, we're not in the factory. We're not in the warehouse. So we're in an office crunching numbers where there's AC, air conditioning. So because of that, we're not involved with the production of the product, which means that our cost is just going to be expense because our cost is not directly. You're not able to actually assign our costs or our salary to the actual product. So it's going to be, and it's just going to go straight to, it's going to be straight expense, which is why it's a period cost. Number five, drum stands. That is a product cost. So I'm going to put $26,000 here. Okay, so drum stands, well, it's a drum set, so it is going to be a product cost because it is a part of the drums. So whether it's a direct cost or indirect cost, it is a product cost because drum stands is a part of producing the drum set. Number six, rent cost of office for accountants. Well, key word there says office. And so since this rent cost of office for accountants, then this also is a period cost. Okay. My salary as an accountant when I was working, it's all a period cost. It's just an expense. You're not able to really assign my salary because it's fixed to an actual product. So my salary is just an expense. So no different here. Rent costs of office for accountants. Well, this is a rent cost, and the rent is for an office. You can't really assign a cost or align the cost, the cost of the office to the actual product. So period cost it is. Number 7, office management salaries, $125,000. That is also a period cost. So I'm gonna put 125 underneath that 10,000 there for period costs. So office management salaries. Now these are the managers that are also in the office along with the accountants. So they are getting the benefits of being in the office, sitting in a chair in a desk with air conditioning. So they are not directly involved with the production of the drum sets here. They're not in the factory. Number 8, annual fee for factory maintenance. And that's 10,000. So that 10,000 is going to go to product costs. Okay, so that is a product cost because this is for the factory. In order for you to actually produce something, you need to have a facility to produce that something in. And that facility is the factory here. And so anything that's related to the cost of keeping up with the factory, I want to say the maintenance of the factory, anything like that, that's going to be a cost that's associated with the product because you're producing a product within that factory. Number 9, sales commissions. Sales commissions, that's a period cost. So I'm going to put 15,000 underneath period cost. Now, yes, the sales are, related to the drum sets because that's what you're selling. However, this is sales commissions, and these sales people or associates are not in the factory. So they're just simply going out and trying to promote, or not promote, but sell the products so that the company can generate revenue. Once the company generates revenue, their salary or their commissions are going to be aligned with the revenue that was generated for their product. And the revenue that's generated, you need to align the cost, the expenses. Sales commissions is a part of expenses. It's going to be recorded and reported in the same period as when the revenue is generated to accomplish the matching principle. And so since this is just straight expense, commissions is an expense, it's going to be listed underneath period cost because it is a period cost. Number 10, factory machinery depreciation straight line for 40,000. That's going to be a product cost. Okay, so this is in regards to a factory machinery. So a machine in the factory. So since it's in a factory and it's a machine that is being used to manufacture the products, that depreciation there is going to be a part of the product cost. All right, so we just completed number 1. Now for number 2, it says compute the average manufacturing cost per drum set. So since we need to focus on just the manufacturing costs, we don't need to worry about the period costs over here for number 2, because the period cost has nothing to do with the manufacturing process. Only the product costs here, the product column here, does. So in order to get our average manufacturing cost per drum set, we're going to just go ahead and add up the costs, the product costs here for numbers 1 through 10, but there's some that are labeled as period costs. So we're going to take the 17,000 plus 82,000 plus 5 plus 26, 10, 40. That's going to give us $180,000. And it says here that listed here are the costs associated with the production of 1,000 drum sets. So we're going to go ahead and divide this 180K by 1,000. Okay, that's going to give us $180 as the average manufacturing cost per drum set.